I opened my husband's Bible, the one he carried every Sunday for 43 years, and a single folded note slipped out from the pages of Psalm 23. My hands shook as I unfolded it. The handwriting wasn't his. It was hers, Sarah, my daughter-in-law. And the words. The words stole the breath I didn't know I was still holding at 71. Let him sign before the dementia gets worse. The house will be ours by Christmas. I remember standing there in our quiet bedroom, the afternoon light pale through the lace curtains, dust floating like tiny ghosts. The note was dated 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. While I was downstairs making chicken soup for Richard because his throat hurt. While I was still calling him my sweet boy, like he was 8 instead of 48. While I still believed family meant forever. Let me take you back, darling, because this didn't happen overnight. No betrayal ever does. It creeps in wearing the face of love. Every morning I wake before the birds. The hardwood floor is cold under my feet, same as it was the winter I turned 65 and Richard and Sarah moved in, just until they got on their feet. That was 7 years ago. I'd shuffle to the kitchen in my old robe, the one with the faded roses, and start the coffee. Richard liked it strong. Sarah liked it with oat milk I had to drive 20 minutes to buy because our little grocery didn't carry such things. I never complained. Mothers don't complain. We just add one more thing to the list. I still hung their laundry on the line out back because the dryer made Sarah's blouses shrink. I'd pin Richard's shirts the way he liked, collar first, then sleeves, so the breeze could kiss every wrinkle away. The smell of sun-dried cotton used to make me smile. Now when I remember it, my chest hurts like someone parked a truck on it. You see, I gave them everything. When Richard lost his job at the mill, I sold the lakeside cabin my James and I saved 30 years for. It's just wood and windows, I told myself, signing the papers while Sarah rubbed my back and whispered, "You're such a blessing, Mom." When their car broke down, I gave them mine and took the bus in snowstorms to my doctor appointments. When little Emma needed braces, I cashed the savings bonds my own mother left me. Every time Richard hugged me and said, "We'll pay you back, Mom. Soon. Tomorrow. Next year." The words mothers learn to live on like crumbs. But crumbs only keep you alive. They don't keep you warm. Little things started disappearing. My mother's silver thimble. The pearl earrings James gave me on our 25th anniversary. Sarah said the house must have gremlins. I smiled and said nothing. Grandmother's smile. We swallow the hurt with our tea. Then Richard stopped calling me Mom. It became Linda in front of his friends, like I was the hired help who happened to own the roof. Sarah corrected the grandchildren when they ran to me with sticky hugs. "Let Grandma rest, she's tired." I wasn't tired. I was starving for those sticky hugs. Last winter, when pneumonia put me in the hospital for 9 days, not one of them came. Sarah texted, "Too many germs with the kids." Richard called once, put me on speaker, and spent the call arguing with Sarah about kitchen tiles. I listened to their voices echo in that cold room and cried into the thin pillow until the nurse asked if I needed more pain medication. I wanted to say yes. Pain medication for a different kind of hurt. The note in the Bible was the last straw God needed to break this old camel's back. I sat on the edge of our bed. My bed, James's bed, and I felt something shift inside me. Not rage. Rage is hot and loud. This was cold, clear. Like the first hard frost that kills the weeds you've been too kind to pull. The next morning I moved like a woman half my age. I brewed only 1 cup of coffee. I cooked 2 eggs instead of 6. I locked the study door, the one with the little brass key I hadn't turned in years, and opened the safe James installed behind his army portrait. Inside were the deeds, the accounts, the will he made me promise to guard for the family. I took every paper that had my name alone on it. Then I called Mr. Thompson, the lawyer who buried my James. His voice cracked when he heard mine. "Linda, it's been too long." I told him it was time. 3 days later, while Richard and Sarah were at some brunch pretending they could afford, the locksmith came. New locks on every door. My house. My keys. My choice. I packed 1 suitcase. The blue one James bought me for our honeymoon. I left Richard's childhood teddy on his old bed with a note of my own. Some things are only on loan. Love, Mom. I moved into the little cottage by the lake. The same lake where James taught Richard to fish. The same lake I sold our cabin on to keep them afloat. Funny how water always finds its level. They came 2 weeks later. I heard Richard's truck before I saw it. Tires spitting gravel like accusations. Sarah was crying before she even reached the porch. Beautiful theatrical tears. Mom, what is this? Richard waved papers. The accounts are frozen. The house is in a trust. Our lawyer says we have nothing. I stood in the doorway of my cottage, coffee in hand. The lake sparkling behind me like it approved. You have what you gave me, I said quietly. Nothing. Sarah lunged forward. After everything after you promised. I promised my husband I'd take care of our family, I cut in. My voice didn't shake. I just finally figured out who that family is. And it isn't people who plan to steal from a dying woman. Richard's face went white. We were protecting you. No, sweetheart. I looked at him the way I did when he was 6 and lying about the broken window. You were protecting yourselves from ever having to say thank you. Sarah started screaming about lawsuits, about elder abuse, about calling the sheriff. Closed the door. Turned the lock. Sat on my little porch and watched the sun set over water that finally, truly belonged to me again. That night I slept without listening for footsteps in the hallway, without wondering if they were counting my pills or my days. I slept like James was beside me, his hand on my waist, whispering, "You did good, Linda girl." Some mornings now, I walk to the end of my dock and scatter breadcrumbs for the ducks. They come without demanding I sell the dock to feed them. They take what I offer and leave me in peace. Kept the Bible. The note is gone, burned with the autumn leaves. But sometimes I opened to Psalm 37 and read aloud to the water. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass. Then I close the book and smile, because the grass got cut. And this old woman, she finally learned to stop watering weeds. If you're listening and your heart is heavy with the weight of one-sided love, hear me. Love is not a debt, children owe. It is a gift. And gifts can be withdrawn when they're trampled. Protect your peace, darling. Lock the door if you must. The right people will knock gently. The wrong ones will try to break it down. And when they do, just smile, turn the key, and walk toward the sunrise that was waiting for you all along.